And she's smiling like a motherfucker.
Hey, just because Eddie, you like your fro?
Hey,
Oh yeah, Eddie got her blushing and all that.
where Eddie going already? Eddie going
Eddie,
already?
Eddie was in the back chat for an hour and a half and was on for 7
He
minutes.
was saucy.
Matter of
Put him
fact,
in the fucking bed. Think about it.
yo, that chicken gonna taste like fucking like charcoal, man. All right, let's get to it, man. Are men intimidated by successful women? Like, is this really a thing? Are men intimidated by a successful woman? Asia, you got the floor.
I think we need to start off with a definition. So we can all talk on this. We can all.
I was literally just about to pull one and put it in the chat.
You can do that too, Alex. Thank you. So the feeling of intimidation, as I said last week, has nothing to do with necessarily that women can beat you or fear of women. It is the sense of, because this is Merriam-Webster's dictionary, right? So we all have defined words. Words are important. You feel affected by or held back by. And that is the part I was addressing and dealing with. And I say that men are intimidated by women, successful women. I'm not saying that you're fearful of us, but you do feel held back by, and you feel a sense of, and you're affected by it, right? Because you feel we're in competition. I am not your competition. Let me be your helpmate. The fact that I am successful, I know who I am, that I am confident in who I am, and I have a certain power within me. And I don't care what y'all Negroids say, there is a power that is innate in us that we carry. And at times, beta males are negatively affected by that. When you come against an alpha, then they don't have to be intimidated by it. An alpha who's confident in who he is, an alpha that's gone through the healing process and is not still walking around with his wounds from childhood, they are not impacted by it. But there are a lot of betas dressed up in alpha clothes walking in this society. And those are the ones that I'm referring to. And it manifests in the way of saying, you talk too much. You're not submissive enough. I'm telling you, I am. Well, I don't believe it. Well, why are you not believing what I'm saying to you? I'm not trying to exert my power or prowess over you, but respect it. That's all. And I'm open the floor up.
Okay. What you think, Sean?
Get her, Sean. Get her, Sean. Get her.
He's stuck. You intimidated, Sean?
Asia know I love her. Asia know I love her. No, men are not intimidated by a woman's success or whatever that means. I don't believe that at all, because even by your definition for what you read, Asia, to be held back, what are you holding a man back from? Like, are we talking money?
Was that rhetorical? Is that a real question? You're asking
no, it's a real question. What is a man being held back from?
Some men may feel they're being held back from being the leader because I am who I am, and because I am confident in who I am and what I bring. And
so is it because he's being held back from being the leader? Is it him being intimidated by your success, or intimidated by intimidated by you not willing to let him be the leader?
And that's what I'm saying.
Is it success? Is that success, or is it just who you are? Is that your personality?
Who I am. I never said successful. That's the title. But
that's what we're talking about. We're talking about, are men intimidated by successful women?
But what I'm saying,
I believe that it doesn't have anything to do with success. I don't think it has anything to do with success. I think it has to do with what type of women are choosing these men. So if you built your career, you didn't go out and party, whatever, you got undergrad at 20, 21, and you went to grad school, and you got your PhD, and you work at the Fortune 500 company, and you're successful by 32, 33. Did you have time to build the social skills? Would it require us to date a man?
Is this a question or rhetorical?
Probably not. I'm not asking a question.
Okay,
I'm just saying probably not. So does that woman who is successful know what that means? No, I don't believe though. I don't believe that. I don't believe men are intimidated by a woman's success. I think men can be put off or feel like they could be held back from a woman who isn't allowing them to be in a space as a man. I don't think it has anything to do with men. Don't care about that. Like,
you didn't address anything.
That's back to the motivation thing. I'm not going to let you dictate that about me and what I believe I could put on the table for myself. I don't need you in that sense. Same way you may not need a man.
We not go back to motivation.
Your success wouldn't intimidate a man. Your personality, your character would do that, not your success.
Yeah, I never said that, but go ahead.
I disagree with Sean. I think Asia said that alpha men aren't going to be intimidated, right? So I have
everybody's not an alpha. So
right, but there are some men who are intimidated by successful women. I have a friend, her child's father acted a whole monkey because she decided to go back to school to get her master because he felt like she was going to leave him. So there's that fright. He was frightened.
That's a weak man. That's a weak man.
But there was still that intimidation there.
Mm-hmm.
No, I don't.
They feel like, how can I lead you because you're now successful? What can I do for you? Because it's like you have it all. I've had it happen. That's my anecdotal experience. But yes, that's why. Because we're so successful that Ava's laughing, but we're so successful that it's like, well, how can I lead you? You're doing too much.
And that goes back to my question I asked earlier about how do you lead someone who is successful?
Right.
I could go. I heard a pause. I can go. Okay. So, Sean, you already know I'm with you. Y'all are bugging if you think it's the success. So let's talk about why. First of all, how many raggedy dudes who don't got nothing going for themselves driving some woman with? You know what I'm saying? How many women taking care of men? We all know a bunch of them who do that. So there's no way we could be intimidated if it's dudes who don't got a dime in their pocket still knocking off all of these corporate women, driving their cars, living in their houses and things like that, right? So that's that's some proof that we're not intimidated by your success. Because and I'm using based off of what you said, Asia, affected by. Another thing it could just be lifestyle, right? And so I'll talk about myself. It was this doctor who I was about to talk to or whatever. Like we talked a few times, but she made $250,000 a year. I can't keep up with your lifestyle, so I'm not even gonna try. So before you say that's intimidation, women, the majority of a woman is not gonna start off spending her bread on a man, right? So if I can't even take you to the places you want to go, you see what I'm saying, and and afford that piece, you're not gonna give me the Asia. You don't even gotta raise your hand because if you do, you're lying.
No.
It goes back to intimidated right there. You're intimidated.
Hold on. Just like him said, let me talk. It's not because I'm intimidated. It's because I'm aware too. Like we're realistic. The majority of women as a whole, y'all are not trying to spend y'all bread on no man off gate. Y'all all talk about a provider. Y'all all talk about being courted. Well, if I'm saying, hey, let me take you to Olive Garden, but you don't even like going to places like Olive Garden because you here to where you used to riding in helicopters and stuff like that, y'all say, oh no, we will give y'all a chance. Y'all won't. And for the most part, now I'm not talking to y'all because y'all are not there. But if you think about men who date who may be lower than where y'all are at. So case in point, if a man like, yo, Alex, you not married, yo, let me take you get this 4 for 4. Yo, like, I think you cool. Let's go get this 4 for 4. You not going to look at him like he crazy? Keep it a buck, Alex. Yeah. You going to a 4 for 4 date?
I did.
And it's, you know.
Hold on. I want to see Alex. Alex, you going on a 4 for 4 date, Alex?
And it's lunch.
Staying with the
right. It depends.
No.
It depends.
Hold on. And Isha, and with Isha, the only reason why you agreeing is because you a lot wiser now than you once were. But before you had the knowledge that you have now, you ain't going on no 4 for 4. You're gonna get right on Facebook and make a status. This nigga tried to get me a strawberry smoothie and thought it was good. You know what I'm saying?
Smoothie be good.
That's a wise decision. You see what I'm saying? Because when I asked, I'm like, yo, you want to do this? She sent me a thing to a restaurant. Look, we go. I dropped like 400. I'm like, yo, I can't do this no more. You know what I'm saying? I'm not doing this no more.
You're staying within your caliber.
Right. So it's not it's not an intimidation thing. It's just because, hey, I know the type of things that you like to do. I'm not there yet, so I'm not even gonna, you know what I'm saying? So I don't think that's based off of your success or because we're intimidated. It's just because we already know what a lot of y'all want.
If all you're coming,
y'all want to be courted.
You're spinning the bag.
That's the problem, eh? If you're putting forth your financial, you're basing it solely upon what you offer financially, you're going to lose automatically anyway.
Women
and I
do that.
Sit there and said it's all about financial because I'm answering you because I'm telling you right now. You're going to miss your blessing out thinking that all women want is financial substance. Because wait a minute, hold on. There said, well, you don't want me taking her to the 4 for 4, but if all you're offering is money, then yes, like what are you offering intellectually, right? What are you offering as far as feeding her soul? What are you offering as far as is reading intellectual books and growing and building together? It's not always about if I can take you to this restaurant. What else do you offer besides that? Because women are not basic as y'all say that we are. And that's the offensive part. Like, stop putting women, and we talk about successful women. Let's talk about let's define what a real grown woman is then too.
Yes, can we define
we like sense. We like somebody that has some sense, some knowledge.
But hold on, at the same time though, you can't say that you want a provider and say that you're not thinking financials. You can't say that. It comes with it.
If I'm not putting that in the forefront as a deal breaker that you can't afford this, then that's not
right,
my.
But not even just my thing is like not even just dinners. He's talking about the lifestyle you live. If you're saying you want a provider, that means that you want a man to cover at least 75% of what the expenses are for a household. So if he knows that he can't stand on that, then he's gonna pick and choose his poison. That doesn't mean that he's intimidated. That just means that, hey, what you're looking for, I'm not there.
All you can provide is money, though. All they can provide,
I'm saying you can't. What I'm saying is, you're saying that
dick in the bag, girl.
You're saying that women don't think about money. That's a lie.
A lot of women don't. A lot of women do not,
and they're not successful in relationships. If they don't, they're not successful in relationships. Any stable relationship includes finances. Any stable relationship includes finances. It does. You can't tell me that it's off the table.
Yeah,
but a successful woman, she knows she already got her own bag. She's not looking for that man to have that bag. She would like him to have something.
But you're also not looking for him to be a bum. You're looking for him to have a bag.
That's not true.
If y'all
I will push back. I will push back on that.
You can't take finances off the table.
Bullshit.
Finances
Finances
are not off the table.
Listen, ain't nobody saying that.
Love ain't
nobody saying that. I think what's being said by the women on the panel so far is that if she's making 80 to 100,000 and he's making 45 to 60,000, she's okay with that as long as he's not sitting on his ass all goddamn day.
Yes.
So yes, you're right. Finance is a part of that. So you add to what's already there.
Okay. So do you are you seeing a lot of white collar women that are doing well dating blue collar men, dating the $40,000 a year man? We don't see that, right? So Q,
right.
What we're saying, all I'm saying to say that is that sounds good, but it actually doesn't happen in real life.
Because to the point of the question, him. And I'm curious to ask Adrian.
He's not intimidated, Q. He's not in the same circle.
Let me land, because you didn't like when the women didn't let you land earlier.
What are you talking about?
Do that now.
What are you talking about?
I'm
answering the question. I'm giving you perspective into what you're saying, because the hypothetical is very unrealistic. They're not even in the same circles,
right?
To even meet, to even say he's intimidated or not.
How do you come on him?
Birds of a feather flock together. You know that. I mean, that's just life. People don't roll in the same circles. They don't. I went to a party at Asia's house. There were no garbage men there.
All right. So I would say this: where do they connect and disconnect? Right. So we're talking about someone who makes 85,000 would not ever meet somebody who makes 65,000. Is that what you're saying?
No, we're not saying never. That's not what I
right.
said.
You're making right. So
you're
so I
speaking
don't
in absolutes.
I don't quite get what you're saying.
I said they're not in the same circles because they're not.
Yes, they do.
But the likelihood of them crossing paths and connecting and having a relationship
is
can
less
happen.
likely. Is less likely.
That's not true.
If you don't make the same money, right, Q, you don't go to the same places. You don't frequent the same thing.
Nah, nigga, my nigga. So you
because
saying
you can't
people
afford
that
it.
make different types of money don't go to the beach?
Or the same grocery store or gas station?
Or the same, right.
Post office?
What the fuck is you talking about?
They both can afford a 4x4. How I mean,
but people aren't fraternizing in those places as much anymore, right? So if you guys are saying that you're being approached at the same rates of maybe in the 90s when men were approaching women, not just a nigga that you don't even pay 1 second to, right? Not in the gym. Men aren't approaching women at the same rates either. So even though you're seeing them at these places, are we really engaging? And you guys assume it's intimidation, but it could be rejection. Is that related to intimidation?
But that's so like I said before you asked all these loaded questions to try to prove your point, let me land with Adrian. So when you spoke, when you were dealing with this woman,
what was loaded about what I said?
Because you're asking a bunch of questions, and I was trying to speak.
But you said loaded though. You said loaded though. But you said loaded though. What was loaded about what I said?
Yeah, well, can I get back to asking A+ the question?
Yeah, but don't say something I didn't say. Don't say something I didn't say though.
All right. So Hamp didn't ask a bunch of loaded questions. Hamp just
asked
questions.
I didn't ask a bunch of loaded questions.
All right.
I didn't ask a bunch of loaded questions. Nah, fuck that. I didn't ask a bunch of loaded questions.
Are you feeling blue today?
Ding ding.
I didn't ask a bunch of loaded questions. You understand what I'm saying?
I was just gonna say ding the bell.
I don't like that shit.
I gave you that. All right, just chew on your banana, and you don't like that shit, though. All right, listen, A+. When you was dealing with this woman who was a doctor, whatever, right? She made money, she made bread.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, when you was dealing with her,
yes, ma'am.
Were you completely transparent and honest after seeing her lifestyle and letting her know what you could and couldn't do and what your expectations and quote unquote needs were?
I feel like I was like we didn't necessarily have the conversation. So like when she would be like, I would plan stuff, it would be like, well, I don't do that. Or she would say, well, hey, what do you think about a trip to Greece and we could do that? I'm like, yeah, I don't make enough to do that. Like I got to take care of this, I got to take care of that. So it was like okay kind of thing. Like, yeah, like, okay. I'm like, yo, let's try to do a picnic or something. Nah, I don't do that. So it's like, all right, cool. Like it is literally not going to boom. But what was crazy was once I cut her off, she tried to come back though. You know what I'm saying? Because everybody ain't A+, man. Everybody don't got the plus. You know what I mean? But that was after the fact though. You know what I'm saying? that was after the fact.
So I think a big problem too is, and I don't want to discredit anybody's opinion or nothing like that, but when successful women do get in relationships or they do date guys who are below their profile and it doesn't work out, that's a general excuse as to why it didn't work out. Like, oh, he was intimidated. When in reality, that's just not accurate.
So, but let me ask,
say things to be intimidated, like they're intimidated.
But let me ask this follow-up question. So A+ past dealing with her, did you deal with any other women of that caliber?
No, and I think that more so goes back to what Hamp said. You don't run into them like that because we don't go to the same circles. The type of hotels she goes to, the type of places she eats at, I don't eat there on a regular basis unless I'm in a relationship and it's a special occasion. That's an everyday thing for her. I don't hang out there. Huh? Okay. I'm not hanging out nowhere where I'm dropping 200 for a meal and I could go get this 4 for $4.
All right. So you said that there's plenty of women that are giving guys cars and guys who ain't doing shit and all this stuff. So you confirmed that there are successful women who give up those things freely, correct?
Yeah, but they're usually giving it to men that are way like here too. You know what I'm saying? So those are not those type of successful women may not be what I deem successful, but they're successful to the men lower than me, the ones that drive the car. Like, you know what I'm saying? Does that does that kind of make like it's levels to it? Does that make sense?
So, what, Ms. Nate, your keyboard loud again. So,
my bad.
Would you be inclined? Would you be inclined to giving another woman of that said caliber a shot? Well, if you were, hypothetically speaking, if you were not married, would you be inclined to giving another woman of that caliber a shot?
If it would depend, honestly, and I'm gonna tell you why. Because it's not only the fact of your success, but it's a lot of things that come with that success in a woman's mindset in order for her to become that successful. And a lot of times, for a majority, not everybody, not you, Asia, you know, I know you're looking for something different. But I know you can at least agree that with the majority of women, when the man ain't making what they make, they will throw that in his face, or that masculine boom, boom, boom. Like, oh, you don't pay no bills here. You can get out and go. Like we all know the women who make significantly more than the man that they are with, they ding-a-ling.
Hey, we can't hear you.
Hey, hear you. I muted your phone.
I thought it was just me.
Whatever.
So it's not that I'm intimidated by you, but it is these other things that I would have to take into consideration, even with how it develops. So if I meet a woman who make bread, I'm not gonna just not talk to you. You know what I'm saying? Because of it, we can chop it up. We can talk, because I know one thing that separates me from a lot of men is that I know how to listen. I know how to articulate myself. I'm gonna pay attention to these details. You know what I'm saying? So I know it probably would be easy for me to talk to her, to get to know her. But again, how is that personality gonna be on the flip side of it? And what is her requirements? Because like y'all were talking about, like most women are not trying to spend their bread on a man to keep up with their lifestyle, and they're not trying to downplay their lifestyle. If you used to going to Greece every 3 months or in Egypt like it's nothing, and I can't afford to pay for me to go, you're not dropping bread to fly me out. Most women not doing that.
All right.
And
so
there are some women that do it though.
If I wasn't married, if y'all was flying niggas to Egypt, I'd go to Egypt with you, yo. You know what I'm saying? I go to Egypt with you.
So are you saying that
I gotta get in.
These women who are throwing this in your face, do you feel like that's a threat to you?
Well, it's never happened to me. So for that standpoint, I'm more so speaking to men that I know or have worked with, or things that I have, you know, seen. I've never been in a relationship with a woman who was more successful than me.
All right. So would you say that that type of character would be intimidating to those men at this point?
No, I think it's just something I don't want to deal with, because when intimidating based upon what she says, she's saying, okay, I'm just affected by the fact you're successful. So I'm not affected by the fact you're successful. I'm affected by the way that you talk to me and the lack of respect you have for me because you make more money than me. That's
because of the success.
No. I'm not affected by your success. I'm affected by the way you talk to me, by the way you treat me, by the way you feel like I'm not in need because you could take care of yourself. That's
because the root of that is her success.
No, her character is how you talk to me.
We out.